Čas jít pryč. Nevím teď pořádně koho vzít. Světlá mission. Jo. Už máme tatuín z krku.
Welcome to Anchorhead, potential customer. Zerka Corporation stands ready to serve, after some formalities, of course. First, your ship is not on our list of planned arrivals for today. There is a docking fee of 100 credits because of this.
What if I say no?
Zerka Corporation maintains this docking station at great expense. It is within our rights to refuse landing permission. And I warn you, we've had troublemakers before. The bay is lined with autoguns. Violence is not a survivable option.
Tady je několik možností, buď se zaplatí 100 kreditů, na to se taky můžu vysoká vysrat, a nebo se tady dá použít, jak je to tu není? Is there any other way you could reconsider this fee? The fee?
I assure you that the fee is non-negotiable. We have a very thin margin of profit on this world.
Saně, že tady tohle. Jinak můžete tady dát force, persuade, nebo pomocí síly ho přesvědčit. Mind trick. Nepotřebuji zaplatit poplatek. To tady v tomto případě není ani světlá, ani temná stránka síly, je to neutrální v tomto případě, takže to můžete použít. Ať za jednu nebo za druhou stranu. A zkusím nejdřív persuade. The money I save, I will spend in your stores.
That does make sense. I suppose I could let it go this time. We need the business. This will cover any future landings as well. It's like a registration, so we can serve you better when you return. Now, as a customs officer, I can provide information on services. Is this visit business or pleasure?
Give me some background on Tatooine.
There isn't much to tell. It's a very old planet, well past its prime. Zerka Corporation is the only company with any interest in it. It's not a very pretty world, but there is opportunity here if you know where to look.
Tell me about Zerka Corporation's operations here.
I can't really get into that. It hasn't been a very smooth operation. I shouldn't get into it.
Come on, friend, let me in on the details.
It's common knowledge, so there's no harm in telling you. It's a tale of bad business. You see, Zerka Corporation staked their claim to this planet based on some very promising geological surveys. Unfortunately, that information was incorrect, and possibly even an attempt at sabotage by a rival company.
The Zerka Corporation set up a shop on a barren planet.
Not totally barren. There were a few good years of mining, and limited operations are still in place. But the ore is flawed. It has peculiar properties. They've had to look at other forms of business.
What do you mean when you say the ore is peculiar?
Zerka Corporation has really tried to hide this, but it just seems that Tatooine metal is unfit for effective manufacturing. I would imagine that this outpost will eventually be abandoned. Nobody is making any money here. Of course, this rock may have been settled a few times, so look for some other company to get stuck with it.
The other forms of business are being looked at here. What other forms of business are being looked at?
Pursuits that appeal to the casual traveler. There are some fearsome native species that provide exciting hunting. There are also lengthy barren wastes that serve as fine soup tracks. Attracting business has been slow, however.
What is known about the history of the planet?
Very little. There are hints that it might once have been a lush world, but I can't picture it as anything but a desert. Native sentient species have no records going back that far. That was hundreds of years ago. maybe thousands. Of course, the native species are not very willing to tell anyone anything. They're barely more than animals.
What species do you mean?
The Sand People. They're vicious and attack outsiders on sight. More animal than anything, really. Maybe they know the history of Tatooine. Maybe they don't. Impossible to tell. They won't cooperate.
Have you had trouble with the Sand People?
Not personally, but they've given Czórka Corporation a rough time. It's hard enough mining this rock without suffering random attacks. I think the company has even put a bounty on them, but I'm sure not going to try for it.
Já nahrávám, co je? Co? Já tě neslyším. Jsi říkala mě. Obvykle nic důležitýho. Where can I get information about jobs like that?
It depends on what level of risk you want to take. You could ask at the Czórka office if any bounties need collecting. That's in Central Anchorhead. While you're at the office, ask for a hunting license so you can sell trophies to Faza in his lodge, just north of them. I suppose you could also take up swoop racing. Talk to the hut at the registration office by the track. That's in West Anchorhead. I can't say I know which of these jobs is the most dangerous. I stay away from all of them. There is a... It's...
Where should a person look for opportunity?
It depends on what...
I'm looking for very specific things. Who should I ask?
That's not much information. Could you tell me more?
I'm looking for a star map. Very odd, very complex.
A star map? That's old holotech, isn't it? Not much reason to outfit this dry rock with tech like that. You could ask around, but for something like that, you'll probably have to go digging. I wouldn't know where to begin. You could always ask a Jawa. It's hard to tell what they know.
Actually, I really need to get going.
As you wish. If you need anything else, I'll be here.
Huh?
Je něco, do čeho nemusíme dát? Security, tohle. Sneak attack verze 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 dokonce, který už má 6. Fajnová věc. Čeká zbroj by nemusela být špatný. Tak jo, tady je několik lidí. Pouch, co to je? LP83B. No, co to moje? Miktunan Juice Orku.
Uchua penki, tangi tuamaji, human act in ikatune, chi itakanki, chana kilikon, chiwak aita kanki, baba Hassan shan, noba muri raji like kuka.
Yes, I want to ask you a few questions. I want to ask you a few questions.
Ki muri ra kun kin, tong hituama ag ikotune.
Takže mluví jako Rodia. I want to ask about you.
Achua penki, yun patisa, ti chuba jikotka naga, King Bumwa Mulira Dwana. King Banik Chalora Kun.
Where do you come from?
Baba Hassan Shan. No ba Mulira Chilai Chiwi Aita Ka Chong Chicha. Chiwa Aita Kang Kicha na Chupornibo. Kun Mulira Slimo Poiwanga. Tangi Tuamaji. Human Act in Ikatune.
Na dialogu jsem jednou vedl. I do one creature or two.
Chiwi Aita Ka Chong Chicha. Agi Inko Tune. Chuna Mulira. Tangi Tuamaji Kona. Tongki pa nonku nek abog. Chiwa Aita Kang Kicha na Chupornibo. Kun Mulira Slimo Poiwanga. Tangi Tuamaji. Human Act in Ikatune. Chiwi Aita Ka Chong Chicha. Agi Inko Tune. Chuna Mulira. Tangi Tuamaji Kona. Tongki pa nonku nek abog.
Do you know anything about Tatooine?
Chiwa Aita Kang Kicha na Chupornibo. Kun Mulira Slimo Poiwanga. Tangi Tuamaji. Human Act in Ikatune. Baba Hassan Shan. No ba Mulira Chilai Kunka.
Who should I ask to get more information?
Chiwi Aita Ka Chong Chicha. Agi Inko Tune. Chuna Mulira. Tangi Tuamaji Kona. Tongki pa nonku nek abog. Ki
Heard any of water rumors?
Chiwa Aita Kang Kicha na Chupornibo. Kun Mulira Slimo Poiwanga. Tangi Tuamaji. Human Act in Ikatune. Chiwi Aita Ka Chong Chicha. Agi Inko Tune. Chuna Mulira. Tangi Tuamaji Kona. Tongki pa nonku nek abog. Ki
Just show me what you have for sale.
Smilia! Tingkuin ko ka. Patoga yak fuli ko kala Gigi.
A life support pack contains thermal regenerators and other equipment for the treatment of wounds. They cannot be used by droids. What? Oh. Yusanis was the most famous of Echani warriors, fighting against oppression and villainy until encountering Dr. Revan. Discovering that Revan had killed an Echani senator, Yusanis attempted to tell authorities but fell to the powers of the Sith Lord despite his own impressive abilities and the Cortosis inherent in all Echani vibroblades. Yamo Hogaraskaru. This was the weapon of mercenary Yamo Hogara and was supposed to protect him against many enemies he had in his lifetime. Hogara's skill didn't match its potential, however. With this weapon, the Mandalorians again demonstrate a complete lack of subtlety. The only thing better than a big blaster apparently is one that shoots faster. It's a fine balancing act, this unit amplifies the faint sounds of moving creatures by filtering out louder background noise that might otherwise deafen the user. Botans place great importance on the tools of the information trade. They would consider these items to be of average quality, though the standards are exceptionally high. Karakan gauntlets. These heavy gauntlets, created by the isolationist Karakan, are almost a complete medical computer in themselves. They constantly monitor and adjust the nervous impulses, blood pressure, and tension to the wearer's hands. The resulting increase in stability and overall system integrity have many benefits.